talk about legal funnels?
We are. As soon as I get this screen shared, we're going to go into, there's the buyer's journey. And when somebody is looking to start buying something or whether they're going to hire somebody, they go from having no knowledge, which is the question mark on the far left, and they don't really know anybody. They don't know enough information. They're going to do a bunch of research. They're going to ask their friends. And they have to go through the whole process of learning about what it is they want to buy, whether it's a product or whether it's a service or whether it's hiring a psychologist or hiring a lawyer, hiring a personal trainer. And they have to get to the point where they know enough that they then get in this middle area where they start to like you. They start to like whatever it is they're going to buy. They have to like whoever the person is they want to hire. And then they have to get to the trust part, which is where they're willing to actually part with some money. So when we have to think about this, we have to look at things from that perspective of taking people who are essentially strangers and turning them into friends, and then from friends into clients. So we have to go through that whole process of educating somebody. And sometimes that'll happen really quickly, and sometimes it'll happen really slowly. So when we're looking at certain types of legal work, divorces, for example, primarily people will start doing a bunch of research. They'll know the divorce is coming. They want to learn more about what their rights are. They want to figure out, like, what's this really going to cost? How long is it going to take? And that's something that starts over here in the know process and tends to be a little bit longer in the learning about and getting recommendations from friends and doing research online before they actually get to the point where they're willing to pull the trigger and hire somebody. And the same thing with like estate planning and business planning, because generally those areas are not very time sensitive. For the most part, this stuff happens well in advance of when it's actually going to be implemented. So the longer time it takes in the buyer's journey gives us more opportunity to express to people what we know so that they can learn to like us and that they can learn to trust us. And that gives us great opportunities when we're working on developing our online presence with YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, however it is we're putting our message out there to find people so that they can start this process of getting to know us and then getting to like us and then getting to trust us. Now, other things tend to be a little bit more time sensitive. Child custody, child support issues, those tend to be a little bit shorter buyer's journey. So they're going to learn quicker. They're going to want to know about us. They're going to want to like us. It's the same journey. It's just the amount of time it takes for them to go from question mark to dollar sign. And then when we get into things like the domestic restraining orders or criminal cases, those tend to be very time sensitive. So people have a very short buyer's journey. They go very quickly from who are you to, yes, you can represent me. Here's my $5,000. Let's go. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Okay, great. So then the next thing is what's the funnel? How do we like develop these people, and how do we create a pool of people that will then get filtered into actually paying us? And so a funnel is really nothing more than you take a big pool of people and get your name exposed to them, what it is you do, and then you kind of whittle it down a little bit to the point where they actually are ready to write the check or give you a credit card. So a funnel starts with, like, here I've got Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube, and the IT stands for iTunes. So I've got all of these various channels to expose people to what it is I talk about. Whether on Facebook, it's a post about, some domestic violence thing. On LinkedIn, it may be one of my columns in the local paper talking about domestic violence or divorce. Twitter may be just another article I'm reposting, and then a quick comment about, here's a great example of proper planning for a divorce. My YouTube videos are another way in which people get dumped into this big funnel. And then obviously with iTunes and my podcast, it's another way in which people get dumped into the first level, the big pool of everybody that knows me and has heard of me in some way. And then over time, as they read my post and they start to consume that, some of them will like me and some of them will never come back again to anything I have to say. And that's totally fine. I don't want to appeal to everybody that's going to be in this first level. I just want to be exposed to them because I want to appeal to the people who are going to make it to the second level, who are going to start consuming and liking what it is that I have to say and share. Because as they read more and more about me, as they read more and more about what it is I'm doing and what I'm saying, they will then decide that they like me and that they want to hire me, or that they want to refer me to somebody in their family or in their circle that needs the work that I do. And then that turns into the big dollar sign at the bottom that becomes the money. So the goal of a funnel is just to move somebody from not knowing me to knowing me, to liking me with my posts and consuming what I put out, to trusting me enough that they want to hire me and then give me money. And that's the two big aspects of the buyer's journey and then and what a marketing funnel is. So does that make sense, what a funnel is now?
Kind of. We're getting there.
Okay. What part of it's not totally clear?
No, what you're saying is clear. I had a preconceived notion based on stuff I'm seeing on the internet. So I really didn't know what it was. So I had a different picture in my mind. And so it's not that everything you said is clear, but I think that as we progress through this program, I'll have an idea of what a funnel actually is rather than what I thought it might be.
Okay. Because this is just the very first level. I mean, they get really, really deep.
Okay. I'm listening.
So I just wanted to start with like exposing you guys to understanding like what a buyer's journey is, so that you start understanding like I've got to expose my services to enough other people that they will start to know, like, and trust me. And then figuring out like how do I move them from top level of knowing me on Facebook, they've seen me in my Facebook group, they've seen me on LinkedIn, they liked some of my posts, they were deciding that now they need to do something about their divorce or their spousal support award or their child support, and now they want to hire me. And I think the same thing for you as we move into building out a bankruptcy practice, it's going to be that same thing. It's like, okay, so here on your Facebook and on your LinkedIn, you start talking about various aspects of bankruptcy law. And
Yeah, I was going to inject this on your first, maybe you want to go back up to the first PowerPoint
yeah,
about the journey. Okay, because I'm thinking, as you know, I may be pivoting and adding bankruptcy. And one of the things I considered when I was thinking about doing this was, and I did talk to some estate planning people, you know, like divorces, estate planning, like what you said here, the journey's longer because these things can be postponed.
right.
Yes, I need to write a will, but it's not urgent and I don't need to write it today, and I can wait. I can postpone that.
Sure.
Yes, I want to get a divorce, but you know, we're separated now and I'm fine. And, you know, I have enough money to take care of me and my kids. And, you know, there's no rush to get a divorce. You know, I'm on good terms with my ex. So then when you get to domestic violence and criminal, there's a shorter, hey, we got to act now.
Right.
It's not a sense of I can postpone this. And one of the reasons I thought about doing bankruptcy, or one of the things that came up when I was thinking about this, was that in bankruptcy, there's not a sense of, oh, I have time to wait. You know, your creditors are knocking on your door. Your house is going to be foreclosed on. You got to move now. You don't have the luxury of postponing.
Yes and no. It depends on when they come to you. And it depends on what their individual situation is, because some of them will be over here in the very beginning part and have a long lead time, because you need to do the planning. You need to position them for the best results in their Chapter 7 or their Chapter 11. Others, when they are like the house is going to be foreclosed next week, it is going to sale, they're going to be at this end of the buyer's journey in a foreshortened version.
Okay.
So very much for you then, that what that means is figuring out, of those two types of clients, which ones do you want to most appeal to, and who do you want to get rid of? If you don't want to deal with short-term deadlines, a lot of stress, a lot of get on the phone now and get this thing resolved, because if it doesn't get resolved today, Thursday, it's going to sale. That may add too much stress in your life. You may want to focus on, I really only want to deal with Chapter 7s that are more here, that have a longer buyer's journey.
That's a really good point, because I think that if people start calling me up and saying, oh, my house is getting foreclosed on, that would be really stressful.
Right.
And when I used to do Chapter 7s, I remember I had one woman come in and she had a mountain of credit card debt. I don't remember why, but I was telling her, if you file now, I think it had something to do with preferences. I don't know.
Sure.
But I don't remember what the legal issue was, but it was really clear to me at the time that if she filed at that moment, the trustee might not get discharged. So she went home and talked to her ex-husband, who was still taking care of her, and she said, I'm going to wait a year to file. Then after the year, these presumptions won't be there anymore. My husband will take care of me in the meantime.
Right.
So I guess I'd rather have the people over there. But I think the reason a lot of these marketing professionals were pushing bankruptcy is because there's going to be a lot of work in it in the next couple of years. But I think the work they're thinking of is more on the other end of the journey. Maybe,
but this may be the little niche that we carve out for Randy. Is that you do the long-term planning to position people for most success.
Okay.
That it's not just about getting relief, it's also about getting the relief that you need so that you come out most successful on the back end.
Okay, so for me, it might be better that I do more Chapter 7s and credit card discharge, rather than my house is going to be foreclosed on. I need to act right now.
Right. You might want to position yourself more as, I'm the bankruptcy strategist. I'm the debt relief strategist. I'm the post-bankruptcy strategist. And the bankruptcy really is just one piece of a much bigger overall plan.
Well, I was going to really market myself as just somebody who does helps you get out of debt after divorce. Because that I was going to sort of
and those are most likely to be people who are not going to have the house in foreclosure in the next week. Those are people who are going to be here on the front end with the long buyer's journey.
Well, I'm sorry,
divorce. They're going to be planning their bankruptcy.
Okay, I lost some of you. Your voice sort of.
Okay.
So maybe you could say what you started to say again. I'm sorry.
So you're going to be more here dealing with people who are planning their divorces and planning their bankruptcies. So you need to position yourself more as I'm the long-term planner to reestablish your life overall. It's the rebuild your life package. It's the divorce and the bankruptcy, so that a year from now, you're in a much better position, both personally and financially.
Okay. So I might be, more over here. All right, got it.
And that will then bleed into what sort of blog posts you write, what sort of podcasts you guest on, what sort of ads you run, how you position yourself in terms of how you're perceived by other lawyers in the field. You may want to find like 2 lawyers who really want to do Chapter 7 foreclosure work, and they really like that high stress. And when a client comes to you and says, my house is going into foreclosure next week, you're like, great, call John. I don't handle that. Go over here.
Have people to refer them to. Yeah.
Right. And you may want to establish a relationship with them where you get a referral fee for that.
Really good point. Yeah, because someone else suggested that. Market yourself to other family law lawyers. But yeah, I should probably get, yeah. But I should market myself also to bankruptcy lawyers, is what you're saying,
Right.
who want to be Johnny on the go, you know.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So thank you for backtracking here. Okay.
Sure.
So we can move
Sure.
along here.
Well, that's it for today. I mean, today was just going to be a short one. I just wanted to like get you guys a little bit of information on what's a funnel and then how do they play into our marketing, because it's down here where it's like, how are you positioning yourself on Facebook and LinkedIn to get exposed to people so that they then want to follow you to get posts, so that they then make a decision to hire you.
Okay. So this gets into what I thought a funnel might be. I thought it was, what I've been reading about is that it's automated, uh, scalable, and something.
That's entirely true. And that's the next level up from this. Because once you start taking people from here who know, like, and trust you,
Right.
and then you create an email campaign because they're starting to follow you on your website, they're following your posts, they're consuming your podcasts, they're consuming your videos. That's another level of a funnel. This was just the very basics of what does it even mean?
Okay. What did I read that it was? Automated, scalable, and something else. Help me out here
That's
with that.
certainly one for like Keep is one company, MailChimp is another, Constant Contact. And what that is that's just a campaign of emails that once somebody opts in to your website, they opt into your newsletter, they get their newsletter once a month. They get an email from you once a week. That's a marketing funnel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. Oh, automated.
Right.
Yeah, I said that. Automated, scalable, and something else. But I'm seeing all these ads saying, "Oh, if you want to get 5 clients a month, just let me create a legal funnel for you." And it seemed like they didn't have to do all these steps of writing and blogging and doing videos. That they just had to advertise in a certain way, and this funnel was going to bring in clients. Or am I really naive or off point here?
No, that's what they're telling you, but that's not what they're doing. They're telling you it's really easy, and what they're doing is they're creating kind of pre-packaged newsletters and funnels and email campaigns that they're selling to other lawyers, and they're just customizing for you.
Okay,
So
well,
it
I
is a
guess.
marketing funnel. It is, if I could opt into your website, I could give you my email address, and you hire one of these companies, and I'll get an email that says, congratulations, you've opted into lafamilylaw.com. And tomorrow I'll get another email, and then next week I'll get another email, and then a week after that I'll get another email. And all of those emails are automated, and you're not writing them. Somebody else has already written them. And the theory is that I will get all those emails, and that over the course of getting those emails, I will decide I want to hire you. And that may or may not work.
So you're getting somebody to write out your app,
Correct.
write your blogs, to write your newsletters. You're not doing it, they're doing it.
Correct. That's what they're selling you.
Yeah, I'll do this while you practice law. That's kind of what they all say.
Right.
Okay, so they're sending out an email campaign, they're sending out newsletters, they're writing blogs for you while you do something else.
Right.
And that's the funnel. People will see so much of you that they'll want to hire you. They'll
Correct.
contact you.
Correct.
Or not that they want to hire you, but if they get enough of this, if they see enough of you in their face, that's the wrong way to put it. If they're reminded of you enough and they get,
Right.
Enough feedback about you, then they'll be curious. They'll call you. They'll make an appointment. So there'll be
it's focusing in here on this like part.
Right.
It's how do you do the like part? How do you expose yourself to them in such a way that they get to like you? And a funnel,
before they actually come in. Okay.
Right. And a funnel here in the like part can be one email. It can be 100 emails.
So the funnels I'm reading about are, they're kind of gimmicky, I guess, with what you're saying. Somebody else is just sending out a ton of stuff about you. to get prospects in the door, and then you've got to convert the prospects.
Right.
But it's a bit of a gimmick. Would that be an accurate statement?
A gimmick, yeah, gimmick is a little pejorative, but yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a
You know, there's a
process.
lot. What?
It's a process. It takes people from one part of the buyer's journey all the way to the other end.
Well, when people are advertising, I'll create a legal funnel for you. That's basically what they mean. I'm going to get your face on LinkedIn, on
Right.
Twitter, on,
What that means is I'm going to advertise you to people here in the question mark so that they get to know your face. You become Darren Kavanoki, 1-800-NO-CUFFS on the radio and on TV.
Okay.
They get to like you by heading 100 emails to the point where they hire you.
Okay. Okay. But they do the work and you don't.
In theory, yes.
You know, some of these marketing people say, let us write your blogs. But they don't advertise funnels, but it's the same kind of idea. They say, let us write your newsletter. Let us create your website.
And we'll do it all for $1,000 a month.
No, $10,000, whatever they want. They'll do it.
Right.
Yeah, they quote outrageous fee, and the pitch is so that you can focus on practicing law.
Right.
One of those. Now there's a problem with that. I think it's true that we can't take on too much. We can't wear too many hats. But I had a friend who did farm that out. She fell for it and said, okay, you start writing my blog for me. And she was paying a company $3,700 a month to write her blogs.
Wow.
So she realized she didn't like the way they were writing her blogs and wanted to get out of the contract.
Yeah.
And I've had people tell me when they've made an appointment, the reason I liked you is because I could tell you wrote your content. It wasn't
Absolutely.
boilerplate. It didn't come from, it wasn't canned.
Absolutely. But see,
Oh.
so here's the thing. You write your own content here in your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your blogs, your Twitters, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're creating your own posts. People are deciding they like you and they hire you as a consequence of that. Now the only question is, how do we scale that? How do we make that more effective so that this part of the funnel, this pool, is bigger?
And that's what they do, these people that do
that we
funnels?
can do. That's not a difficult thing to do. That's just exposing you to more people.
Well, is that what people are doing that say, let me make a funnel for you? They just get you out there in front of more people, basically?
Partly. That's partly it.